Guys, welcome back to my channel. We're here for some more APA action. Week 4. This week we're going up against Cambatx and his Goblin Forest Marshadows. He has a team of Mega Mawile, Infernape, Sylveon, Staraptor, Blastoise, Goodra, Celebi, Morpeko, Golurk, Spectrier, and Quagsire. I've had, I believe, 3 mocks against this team, and I think I've faced every Pokemon except for Morpeko. So, in the first two battles, the Quagsire came. It was a big issue. So, we definitely have to worry about that Pokemon. As far as hazards, he's got Rocks, Mawile, Rocks, Infernape, Default Extractor, Spin, Blastoise, Rocks, Celebi, Spin, Morpeko, Rocks, Golurk, and that's it. So a lot of Stealth Rock users, potential Stealth Rock users. Most likely one probably being Celebi, if I had to guess. So anyway, overall his team is pretty threatening against mine, I'd say. Mega Mawile and Infernape. Just those first 2 Pokemon are troublesome. And of course you have to prep for Spectrier, because otherwise it could be a real hazard to go against, because my Dark type is Zorua, so not the best option there. And then Golurk, I think, could be a huge threat if he brings it, just because I can only prep for so much. So hopefully he doesn't bring Golurk. That would be great. But anyway, let's get into my team. I have a physically defensive Gligar here, basically to take on Mawile, Infernape, Staraptor, hopefully Golurk unless it runs Ice Punch. It's pretty nice for Celebi. Yeah, this Pokemon has a lot of pressure here in this matchup, because something like a Swords Dance Infernape could be a huge problem, because even if let's say he goes for Swords Dance and then he Flare Blitzes, he's not going to kill me, or he might, but if he doesn't, and I kill him with Earthquake back, well then I have like a 10% Gligar, or whatever it may be, and that's pretty useless, to be honest. So yeah, we got to keep that in mind. Just, I can only do so much. If Mega Mawile uses knockoff on me, then my Eviolate's gone, and then I get 2 KO by Play Rough. So I have to really be careful with this Pokemon, because it does have a lot of stress on it. I have to play well to make sure it can do what it does. It's also nice for Morpeko, I guess, because that Pokemon really can't do anything to it, except for Parting Shot out, which would be annoying. I actually haven't calced like a banded Reckless Staraptor. It probably 2 KOs, because what does that not 2 KO? I guess a Steel type, but my Steel type is Mega Scizor, so that's not good for like our Brave Bird. And yeah, that's about. Well, uh-oh, my phone turned off. I can't look at the match. Okay, Golurk can run Ice Punch as well, so that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, as far as the moveset, pretty standard. EQ, U-turn, Roost, and Defog. I outspeed Mega Mawile like 9 times out of 10, if even that. Probably like 9.5 times out of 10, if that's possible. So that's good. But yeah, we talked about Gligar enough. Next Pokemon is going to be Mega Scizor Hybrid. Bringing it back. Basically the same set, except instead of especially defensive, I'm just max HP, max attack, because a +2 Bullet Punch does like about half to Infernape, which is really respectable damage, I think. I haven't really done many calcs. That's one calc that I did do. I just don't really remember it. Maybe it's less than that. I don't know. But yeah, moral of the story: if we do want offensive, it's kind of just a good situation to be in. I could speed creep Goodra so that I could hit it with a knockoff. But if it runs any kind of speed, it's kind of useless, and Bullet Punch does a lot to it anyway. Knockoff is mainly just there for Blastoise, and I guess Golurk, and I mean Spectrier, but mainly for the Golurk to just kill it, and then Blastoise, so I can actually hit Blastoise for some decent damage, and Quagsire, but I'm not going to stand against Quagsire, most likely, unless it's water absorbed for whatever reason, because Unaware Quagsire is an issue for us. For sure. So we brought some things for it to, because we like prepping for things. So, next up we have Gengar, enough speed for Infernape, Nasty Plot, Sludge Wave, Energy Ball, and Shadow Ball. Initially I had Substitute over Sludge Wave, but I switched out just because Slippery does more to like everything that it hits does than compared to Shadow Ball. It does more to Infernape. Obviously, does more to Sylveon. Does more to Staraptor, Blastoise, Goodra, Celebi, more Pico. It just does more to like everything except for Spectrier and Golurk, and Mega Mawile, obviously. So I ended up bringing it here, or it's on the set right now. I'll probably just keep it like that. Um, I didn't think of it as much as like, oh, I gotta hit Sylveon because Sylveon can't do much to me anyway. I was just thinking more of like I want to do enough damage to things. And being timid, we lose some power on that. We are Black Sludge. I might change that item around. I don't really know what item fits well here. I could just run, Wise Glasses or something like that. Energy Ball is there for the Quagsire because if I set up a Nasty Plot and he's unaware, it's not going to matter, and he can just Earthquake and do a lot of damage to me. So it's nice to have that Energy Ball on there just for that Quagsire, and I guess the Blastoise hits the Blastoise a little harder. Yeah, that's it. Next up is Tillamook, my Miltank, with the scrappy ability leftovers, especially defensive here, mainly for the Spectrier as well as the Goodra, and I guess Celebi doesn't do much to me either. Nice for Blastoise too, if it's like an offensive set. Nice for Sylveon. It's just nice to take special hits in general, which is actually really helpful. This Pokemon is usually physically defensive, but for this matchup, I kind of need it to be Spidef, so that I can take on something like a Spectrier. I have Milk Drink, Strength, Toxic, and Heal Bell. I initially had Seismic Toss, but I learned the hard way in my third mock that Spectrier can live 2 Seismic Tosses. Like it can take the first one behind a sub and it won't break the sub. So because it got base 100 HP, that's like the level off. Like if you run max HP and you base 100, then Seismic Toss is not gonna, you're gonna have 404 HP total. So Substitute's gonna take 51 off the first 3 times, and then I guess 50 off the last time. But unless you have leftovers, which he did have leftovers. So basically, I Seismic Tossed as he subbed, then he could Nasty Plot as I Seismic Toss again, and it just gets bad. It goes from bad to worse, and then I just kind of got swept. So that's not good. So we have Strength there instead of Seismic Toss, so we can actually break a sub. Strength over Body Slam, because I don't want... The worst thing would be if he switched into Quagsire, and I Body Slam, and then I Paralyze him. Because, I really want to Toxic that Pokemon. I don't want to Paralyze. Same goes for Goodra, Sylveon, Blastoise, even Golurk, I guess. I'd rather just be Toxicing those Pokemon. So it's Infernape, I guess, is the one thing I'd rather Paralyze, and of course Mega Mawile because it can't get Toxic. But those really aren't Pokemon you're gonna hard switch into a Miltank unless you're really aggressive. I could see more of like a Sylveon or a Quagsire, or a Celebi or something. Pokemon I just rather Toxic. So, and then of course Heal Bell there to be a Cleric for the team. It's pretty nice. Next up is Shredder, our Haxorus. It's running Max Attack, Adamant, enough speed for Spectrier. Max Speed Spectrier, I'll be able to outspeed after Dragon Dance. I thought about going Swords Dance, Scale Shot, but he's got 2 Fairy types, and even if I can bop both of those Fairy types in one attack after a Swords Dance, maybe even before a Swords Dance, if I'm not able to get that Scale Shot off, I won't be able to outspeed key Pokemon like Infernape, Staraptor, even like a fast Celebi, and Spectrier, of course. So those are Pokemon I really need to be able to outspeed. I even speed tie with like more Pico, I think, or maybe not. Maybe it's slower than that. I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, and if anything's Scarfed, obviously like Scarfed Infernape is, if it does come, it's still going to be able to outspeed me after a Dragon Dance. But that'll give me really good information to know that Pokemon is Scarfed. And even so, I don't think it OHKOs me. I mean, I have a decent amount of HP investment here, so we just gotta keep this Pokemon healthy and hopefully late game sweep with it. This Pokemon is an absolute menace once it gets one Dragon Dance up. It's really hard to deal with. So hopefully we just keep it out of like Sucker Punch range from Mega Mawile, Mach Punch range from Infernape, stuff like that. If he is Scarfed Infernape, he might not even run Mach Punch, but we'll see about that. Last but not least, we have Shaman. This is initially a Nasty Plot Zorua, just for the hell of it. And then I realized that that's not gonna work at all. So instead, I brought initially, this is an offensive Shaman. I switched it to Spadef Shaman because I feel like it works pretty well. It's just a nice backup for Miltank. It deals with Spectre pretty well. Deals with Sylveon pretty well. Like Mystical Fire uninvested, it's still not doing that much to me. It's doing like 22, 23%, something like that, which I can get back easily with like leftovers and lead sheet and everything. It's nice for Gudra because even if it's Sap Zipper, I can just go for a Toxic. When I was like an offensive Shaman and I had Dazzling Gleam, it still doesn't stand against Infernape very well. It still loses to Gudra because Gudra's a especially defensive beast. It's just very meh as offensive. But if I can run it defensive with Toxic, as long as he doesn't bring a Cleric move, then we should be able to put in some work with this Pokemon for sure. And if I can predict the Infernape switch in and go for Earth Power, that's a great position to be in as well. It's not gonna kill from full, but it's gonna do a lot. I do outspeed Mega Mawile, probably 99 times out of 100, because I'm even faster than Gligar. So we'll be able to Earth Power that and do a lot of damage. If it's low enough, we'll be able to hopefully get the kill on that. Natural Cure is really nice so that nothing can hold a status against me. Something like Sylveon, if it wants to Toxic me, I'll trade Toxics with a Sylveon any day. I'll trade Toxics with anything any day because I can just switch out and get that health back. So that is the team. Hopefully I didn't ramble. It was 12 minutes. That's pretty long team building sesh. But anyway, that's going to be the team. If I make any changes, I'll let you know. It's a tough one, man. It's a tough matchup. But we're going to go into it and, I don't know, hope to pull off some magic again. So I don't think this is going to be a 6-0, though. I strongly do not think we're going to get back-to-back-to-back 6-0s, but we'll see. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. One more thing, Shell Smash Blastoise, if he brings that, I do live an Ice Beam, and then well enough to where I might even live another one if I Giga Drain it that turn. He'll probably be White Herb as well, but even then, with the leftovers in the Giga Drain recovery, I might be able to take 2 Ice Beams. If not, it is what it is. But yeah, hopefully that goes our way if he does bring that set. But anyway, that's that. I'm going to get on out of here and cut to the battle right here, and I'll see you there. Wish me luck. Alright, here we are in the battle, going up against Cambatx, and he brings a team of Mega Mawile, Morpeko, Quagsire, Staraptor, Gudra, and Blastoise. Excuse me, very surprised to see the Morpeko, obviously. But he didn't bring Infernape, which I was surprised by as well. No Sylveon, no Celebi, Golurk, or Spectrier, so neither of the ghost types came to this battle. And looking at the 6 that he brought, I don't know. I guess I would say I'm surprised. I don't know what the Staraptor wants to do. It could be Banded, could be Scarf, could just be like Intimidate, Boots, Defog, Support kind of thing. I don't know. But judging by him having Quagsire and Blastoise on the team, I'm assuming it's a Shell Smash Blastoise, which is not fun to deal with at all. So, yeah. Let's get right into the battle. Hold on, let me put on slow and music off, and I'm gonna lead with Gligar because I'm predicting maybe like a Morpeko lead to Parting Shot out, or a Staraptor to U-turn out, something like that. So yeah, let's go ahead and start the battle right now. We are going to lead with the Gligar, and he ends up leading Staraptor, which is good for us. So I can get a slow U-turn off here. I know that. Well, I can just calc any kind of damage that he wants to do, so I do end up going for the U-turn. So he goes into Quagsire, so it's a good lead for me, good turn 1. I'm going to click Lead Sheet here because if he goes into Gudra and he's Sap Zipper, at least I know that. And he is Sap Zipper, we see it right there. So I'm going to get a Toxic off right away because I want to make sure that I can poison this thing. It's very important for my team to get that thing Toxic. So that's good. He goes for Dragon Tail, which is fine. I'm going to U-turn out. It was kind of ballsy to do that because I have no no speed. I don't have negative speed, but I don't have like any speed. So if he was speed creeping my Gligar and go for Ice Beam, that would have been like really bad. But I didn't think he had Ice Beam since he had Dragon Tail. And then he goes for Draco. This Draco damage tells me he's like kind of offensive. So that he could just be like max special attack with leftovers, but like maybe not. Also, I don't know. There's a range of sets he could be, but basically, he switched into Staraptors. I Milk Drink there, and then I got to switch into Gligar, and he goes for U-turn. Gets into Blastoise. I'm gonna go to Tillamook because I was expecting a Shell Smash, but it's probably too early for him to make that move already, which is good. Well, good play for him to not do that. And he has the Ice Punch. So he's actually a more physical set, more physical Blastoise. So that's interesting. Oh, I didn't even notice he had the Intimidate, but I have Scrappy, so I didn't get affected by it. With the Mawile, I tried a Toxic, so that's really annoying because then I go into Gligar and he goes for the knockoff. So that's a tad unfortunate, and he's going to go for the Quagsire. I go for Earthquake. I thought he was gonna just knock me out there. I wanted Chip on the Mawile, so but yeah, he ends up going for Ice Beam there as I bring in Shaman, so good play. But it still doesn't do that much to me. I predicted Goodra there, so I went into Haxorus, but he actually brought in Mawile. And now I'm, again, just trying to get Chip on the Mawile. I click Earthquake there, knowing that it would do a lot of damage. But he brings in Staraptor, so that's a good play for him. I thought this Dragon Claw would kill, but it doesn't. So he's going to be able to knock me out with a second Brave Bird. He's going to die to Recoil. So I don't know if Haxorus gets that kill or not, but yeah. Anyway, I'm going to bring in Hybrid here as he brings in Goodra. It's pretty bad for me because I got to switch into Miltank as he goes for Flamethrower. But now we're in a pretty good spot. And, you know, I know that he's probably not going to want to stay in. He can't really do much to me. I've already seen 3 moves. But he goes for a Sludge Bomb there. I don't know what he was expecting. Interesting play there, in my opinion. I was just confused. But he reveals his last move there. So now I know for sure Miltank can kind of deal with this Pokemon. And he goes for Draco. That one does 50, so he's definitely more of an offensive Goodra here. But Toxic's racking up on him. That's really important that we get that because it's really important for Gengar at this point. Gengar looks like the biggest threat to his team as long as he doesn't have Sucker Punch Mega Mawile. But yeah, so I predicted Mawile correctly there. I go for the Gligar and then I try to Earthquake it again. Doesn't work out there. But I get Quagsire weak enough to where I know he's going to want to recover. Now, I don't see leftovers on this Quagsire, so I'm going to immediately assume it's Rindo Berry. Because that's like, and he doesn't have Rocky Helmet. So I don't really know what else it would be other than Rindo. So I bring Gligar here, trying to predict the Mawile again. Doesn't work. I really should have brought Earthquake on Miltank. But that didn't happen, obviously. So I go for the Giga Drain here, knowing that he's probably Rindo and he's probably going to stay in. You know, maybe just because if Goodra comes in, it's like, whatever. But yeah, he does go for the Rindo Berry, or he does get the Rindo Berry to pop, and then he goes for Encore, which is really good for him. And I thought he was going to bring in Goodra, but that wouldn't have made much sense, so he does bring in Mawile, which is probably obviously makes more sense. I go for a Bullet Punch there, just to get some damage off. I was assuming he was Fire Fang. So then I took a lot of time on this turn. I didn't know if I wanted to bring in Gengar to get Chip or Shaman, but I figured I could go into Shaman, get a Leech Seed off, and then switch into Gengar and take advantage of the Leech Seed. But he actually switches into Goodra here. Earth Power I don't think would have killed the Mega Mawile at that point. But yeah, so I bring in Gengar hoping that he went for either Play Rough or Fire Fang that turn. But he switched into Goodra. I don't want to risk him Dragon Tailing as I Nasty Plot. And Draco might even kill me at that range, so I switch into Miltank as he Dragon Tails, gets me into Shaman, and then I bring in the Miltank. Well, I don't bring in the Miltank, the Dragon Tail chose me. As I'm going to be able to Strength there and knock him out. I probably shouldn't have done that, because like now Blastoise can just come in, be a little bitch, and Shell Smash. And that should probably be the game, because if he was especially offensive, I don't know, Shaman's only at 53, so I don't think I would have been able to take an Ice Beam, but I definitely can't take an Ice Punch, and I know that Liquidation does, well, I mean, with leftovers, it does about half. Like, I can I can keep doing this until he runs out of liquidations, but at the same time, he's probably going to get either a crit or a defense drop. If he gets either of those within, have going for 16 liquidations, then I just definitely lose. Well, I definitely lose either way here. As I'm going to get a toxic off if that does anything. Maybe for some reason Shaman could live a hit. I don't know. I should have definitely made Gengar Focus Sash. That would have been a better play. Definitely regretting just keeping that as Black Sludge. I didn't really, you know, yeah. I mean, I was watching the NBA Finals, to be honest with you, for like the first half of this game. So game 4. So I was playing, but it was like, yeah, I don't know. There's no excuses. I mean, I lost 4-0. My opponent played well, GG to Cambatx. I guess that's how you. I don't know how to pronounce it, but Shell Smash Stoice was a good bring, and Mega Mawile just kind of destroys my team, but it destroys every team. So yeah, I don't know. Not much else to say. I think the biggest thing was, let's see, what was the biggest thing? I don't know, just weird doubles that I had to make because I don't have enough. I don't have like any switch initiative moves on this team except for U-turn Gligar. So that's definitely got to change. I got to start bringing Pokemon that can U-turn and Volt Switch out and whatnot. Because he had U-turn Staraptor and he never even used Morpeko for Parting Shot, but he didn't really need to. Once he had the advantage, those Pokemon were more valuable than mine. To be completely honest. So yeah, we only got 2 kills there, and one of them was Staraptor dying into its own hit. So not the best showing for us, but I think we did have a pretty shit matchup, to be honest. I think if he brought Swords Dance Infernape, that would have done just as well as like a Shell Smash Blastoise. If he all he has to do is knock off on my Gligar, and then I'm just kind of screwed. There wasn't really any other. I'm trying to think of what else I could have brought. I guess slow. Yeah, I could have brought like Colbur Slowbro. The reason I didn't bring Slowbro was because, I guess because of Spectrier, but I definitely still should have brought it. That's definitely a misplay on my part. But if you bring like Banded Golurk, like that's another thing that could have just come and just wrecked me. And I had to bring Colbur for Mega Mawile's knockoff, so Poltergeist would have been able to hit me. And I'm sure Morpeko was there for the Slowbro, so the fact that I didn't see it was probably because I didn't bring Slowbro. So anyway, that is going to be the game. Hope you guys enjoyed. We're not 2-2. Unfortunately, we got like back-to-back 6-0s, but then we got 4-0'd here. So yeah, just gonna try to bounce back next week, and how many weeks is this season? I don't even know. I guess I can check. It's 10 weeks. That's a lot. That's a lot of weeks. Because I know TEC is like this week, and then next week is the last week of the regular season. So yeah, that should be fun. But we still have like 6 weeks after this one for the APA. So plenty of time to, I don't know, get more kills with things and just try to have fun. But yeah, that's gonna be the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.